What's going on, YouTube? Scouts311 back, and we are back with NBA 2K12 Bulls going up against Portland. And the Bulls are, let me see, 5-2. Portland's 5-2. So must be a good matchup. And it is an away game, so let's see how we handle that.
Hello and welcome. I'm Damon Bruce here with you as we get ready for a little NBA action on 2K Sports. Wednesday night in the NBA. It'll be Luol Deng and the Chicago Bulls facing off against the Portland Trailblazers. And with tip-off just seconds away, let's head on out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. I'll be back to bring you up to speed with the HP Halftime Report.
We've got the Blazers in the Rose City, Portland, Oregon, with an interconference matchup at the Rose Garden. The Bulls are in the midst of a road trip going into this one. Sixth game of the season for them, and when you're 4-1 already, you've got a good feeling about each game.
You know, for the Bulls, they've done it again this season. Established themselves as one of the league's elite teams.
And, you know, that's really the mark of a great franchise, Clark, when you can do it over and over again, particularly when the expectations are high, because the pressure's on, and all you can do is continue to work and compete and try to perform at the same level you've been at, and that's exactly what this team's doing.
All right, so let's get it going.
Rose and Deng on the floor.
Got a bit of a cold, so I apologize for that.
They're inside, and it's Hamilton in at the 2. And for Portland, Aldridge and Camby up front. Crawford out there with Felton. And it's Wallace in at the small forward position. Now here's Rose. Back to Booser. Fades. Aldridge with some nice D.
Carlos Boozer signed that big free agent contract with Chicago before last season and then broke his hand before the year even started. But he came back, got healthy, and became a strong presence, and the Bulls had a great season.
Now here's Crawford. Carlos Boozer unable to get his shot to go. Just 5 on the clock. Shot from free throw range. Second shot opportunity. Can be no
There we go.
And here are the Bulls now. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
Well, they did a nice job of playing together as a team, creating open looks for each other. And they were really knocking down some open looks.
Well, it makes for a coach's good dream when you can get easy chances and hot shot makers.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
They gotta start using Boozer more on the.
Catch up with them. This will be their first game of the season against Chicago.
He has a really good mid-range jumper, so I start using him more with that.
Specifically, the difficult task of trying to defend Bulls superstar Derrick Rose.
Jeez, nobody's on Camby out there.
Rose can't score if he doesn't have the ball, so that's the priority. Deny him the basketball, limit his touches, and force them to look for other options. Probably easier.
There we go.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
Well, he really used the height advantage there down on the block.
Crawford kicks to Felton.
Oh, shit. Screwed up my defense. Good thing he can't make a layup.
Wallace outside. Crawford dishes to Felton. Moving it around. Backing down is Wallace. Over Noah. Nice shot by Wallace.
Took a little time, but they get one to go. Maybe they're warmed up now.
On defense, Portland.
You know, seeing the Bulls here, they were just absolutely terrific against the Western Conference last year, and I don't think that should be a surprise at all.
Pick and roll.
By Noah.
One of the oldest plays in basketball made that dunk possible.
That's right. A terrific screen right there, Steve. Allowed him to lose his man and rock it to the rim.
Well, don't you love to see players working together in that fundamental play? Fun to watch.
The feed to Wallace. He's picked up by Deng. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The jump hook.
Oh, come on. Felton's posting me.
You mentioned the Bulls in the West, Steve. They were 23-7 against the conference. Very good numbers.
That was the best mark of any team in the East. 3 more wins than the Heat, who came in second with 20.
Now here's Rose. 23 points for him the last game against the Wizards in Washington.
Boy, he just seems to score so easily. The game comes very simply to him.
Crawford outside. Dishes it to Felton. Camby. Outside, Felton. Aldridge backing in.
That's what we want.
Passes to Felton.
Nice defense. You can make that shit.
A very rough quarter for him as not much is falling right now.
There's the three. Crawford with the rebound. Trailblazers trail by 4.
One thing you know when it comes to Nate McMillan as a coach, his teams are very disciplined and deliberate. He's a bit of an anti-run and gun guy. He preaches more ball control and making the smart play than forcing the tempo.
Felton against Rose. He feeds it to Noah. Some good ball movement here. A fadeaway. And Boozer gets it to go.
That's how you do it.
Back to McMillan. Steve, that is a bit of how he played as a player. I mean, he also liked defense, too. I know that.
Yeah, he was a tough player, smart, very heady point guard during his playing days, and really made his mark in Seattle playing under George Karl. He's one of Karl's all-time favorite players.
Crawford kicks to Felton. Crawford dishes to Felton. Over Boozer. And there's Felton. That's good on the assist by Crawford. There's a minute 34 left in the first. Outside Rose. Goes up.
Oh!
It's blocked. Portland trailing here. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
I thought offensively, a lot of what they were doing really worked.
There you go.
Of course, they found some gaping holes in that defense.
Steve, they had a bunch of success on even the most basic plays they were running. I mean, that was some pretty poor defense there. You know, you look at the stats last year for Rose, just unbelievable.
That's not a good switch.
As his team.
Rose is on the big man. It's double.
Backing in
the double.
Picks him up defensively. From the top of the key.
Damn it.
Felton again. Felton's got 6 points. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Clark can go back to Rose, 25 points and almost 8 assists a game for him.
Well, Clark, I'll take this one if you don't mind. But, you know, Rose's field goal percentage dipped a little bit, but remember, he was taking about 4 more three-pointers per game. And I think Rose has to take so many of the late shot clock attempts for the Bulls because they don't have a second option who can create his own shot. So that's why sometimes those field goal percentages can be a little misleading.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Batum comes in for Gerald Wallace. And Wesley Matthews subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Butler, he's checked in for Chicago. Brewer comes in for Richard Hamilton. Now, here's Felton. His last outing, he had 8 points.
Yeah, they have another 3. This guy's a 3-point shooter, too.
Batum against Butler.
They haven't really shot the 3 ball, but they got a lot of guys who can. Shit.
And Batum with the basket on the assist by Matthews.
Batum.
Batum's got his first bucket in this one. Outside Rose.
Boom.
Pointer is right on target. Rose has got 5. Heaves it up. The shot will not go. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Bulls lead by 1.
It was pretty impressive the way they moved the ball, made the extra pass, and found open shooters that whole quarter.
Yeah, it's been a complete team effort out there. Great to watch.
And it's more NBA action coming your way here on 2K Sports.
All right, it's a close game.
Close game here as we get back to the
In
second
Portland,
quarter.
though. Portland's a good young team.
Here's Johnson.
You know, the Blazers last season made that trade for Gerald Wallace, adding defense and toughness at that forward position, and I think he was big for them down the stretch. His energy is infectious.
So with Boozer
Oh,
on the
come
bench,
on.
here's the foul for Tom Thibodeau right now.
Come on. Taj, you're fronting them.
The Sheik is out there with Taj Gibson.
Basically, it's
And Butler.
Derrick Rose and the subs.
Steve going back with the addition of Wallace to the Blazers.
Jesus, you gotta guard him. Are you kidding me?
Stacked on the wings.
Yeah, they are really deep at shooting guard.
At least
small
try to
forward.
guard him.
I thought Wallace really helped their team. The key for them is getting healthy and getting more shooting to surround LaMarcus Aldridge in that front court.
And here's Matthews. Following the three-pointer by Derrick Rose. 6 on the shot clock. It's off his leg.
What?
And they're saying he kicked the ball.
A Sheik, the freak. A Sheik and destroy, baby.
Here's Aldridge. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia. Here's Batum.
Oh, nice pass. Holy cow.
Batum's got his second basket of the night.
Another good pass, and their offensive execution has been impressive, to say the least.
The last 4 field goals have been assisted. Yeah, passing has kept the defense off balance, but to get assists, you got to make the shots.
Now here's Rose. 8 points for him. 5 to shoot, and it's Johnson picking him up. A fader. Second chance shot, and
That's how you do it.
Gibson's got his first basket of the night.
Bulls are an offensive rebounding team, or rebounding team. A lot of big men who can rebound.
And get into outstanding rebounding position for the putback.
So timeout call here. The first for
Here comes C.J. Watson.
It's really hard to go from winning no playoff series in 1 year to a championship. That is a big jump. Only 2 teams have done it in the modern era. That's what the Bulls were up against last season.
Here's what Portland's going with right now.
We got Noah back in there, which I like. I love Noah.
Wallace comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge.
I like CJ too, actually. He's a good backup point guard. He could be a starter in a lot of... Oh, shit! He could be a starter in a lot of leagues, or the teams.
Play of the game right there.
An alley-oop slam is always going to be at the top of the list there, Clark. You're right.
That's one of my favorite plays in basketball, guys.
Thibodeau really connected with the players on the Bulls roster early on. I mean, Derrick Rose attributed the huge jump in his game and what he made defensively to the coaching of Tom Thibodeau.
Deng, and it's sent back by Wallace.
Now, Deng always gets knocked down in my games, and he never gets freaking fouled.
After that, it was easy.
Good job by Tajkian, though.
Now, here's Felton. He's covered by Watson. Deng against Batum.
Ah, horrible. Yeah. Oh, horrible defense. Shouldn't have went for that. There's no way he was going to shoot that ball.
Man, maximum force on that dunk.
And here are the Bulls now. Well, Clark, and it just wasn't Rose, as you mentioned. I mean, the whole team bought into his coaching philosophy. And Steve, you've always said, and Clark has too, that when the best player follows, everybody else will follow that best player.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I mean, when Derrick Rose...
Wow, Deng, I gotta get him involved. Bulls got too many guys to get to. You got Boozer, you got Deng, and got Rose, who can all score.
Really gain a lot of momentum as an organization.
And they don't.
Here is Felton after the 3 moments ago from Luol Deng.
And they don't have I have automated subs just so I don't have to worry about it and speed up the game. But they never bring in Korver.
And here's Felton from the arc. The shot misses.
I actually like Korver a lot. He can shoot.
Boy, Luol Deng quietly had a really good year for Chicago last season. And he plays well at both ends of the floor. Good length and athleticism, and also the ability to make that mid-range jump shot.
Oh, that's a charge, baby.
Streak, and it's rejected. The Bulls leading by 3. And Batum picks him up defensively. Watson kicks to Brewer.
Brewer can shoot now, too. He found a jump shot.
Gibson. Wallace is there. Gibson passes to Watson.
In and out, play. In and out, baby. That's how you do it.
Got his first 3 points of the game.
Pulled the double team and got to the open shooter.
Athleticism, you combine that with his good defensive awareness, and that's something he said he picked up at Duke. He's, of course, with Tom Thibodeau is now the new coach, defensive-minded coach for the Bulls. He's one of the reasons Chicago is such a good team defensively.
He might be the most important reason because of his versatility and his
there you go,
he can
Noah
individually, and he's excellent in the team. But I like his fortitude, his resilience. I mean, he always is at the same level of effort. You watch him, he never vacillates, and he's always giving you a hard, focused, intense effort. And that's,
there you go, Deng.
That's very admirable.
One thing is he was healthy last year, which was really huge.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. So when guys are healthy, you get to see who they really are. Injuries really impact how guys can perform over that long of a season.
And while we can, here's a look at the teams that have the fastest hands in the league last season. 5th best, the Trailblazers.
Hey, look at the Grizzlies, 9.4 steals a game? Holy shit, the Warriors too, wow.
I mean, they were great at finding ways to come up with the ball.
Boozer's coming back and Derek's coming back.
So for the Trailblazers, Marcus Canby, he's checked in for Thomas. Aldrich comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Crawford in for Wesley Matthews. The Bulls also changing it up. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gibson.
Come on, let's
Hamilton comes in for Ronnie Brewer. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson.
Ooh, come on.
Tag with the reach.
That guy got a big-ass head.
We've got 1:28 left in the first half.
You know, as we
Pick your pocket.
Blazers check them out. I mean, a small market team, tremendous fan support. They're the only
Oh,
team
Boozer
as
with the
far as
reach
major
too.
sports teams
Everybody's gonna foul.
concerned, and their ownership has not been shy or bashful about trying to spend and being willing to spend to make them a contender.
Clark, as you said, going back to the Blazers, a small market team, big city pocketbooks. And Steve, now also a pretty new front office. They're going to another general manager this year.
Yeah, and despite the change, Portland's front office continues to be innovative and aggressive, making moves to try to improve this team. We know they've got plenty of money with Paul Allen at the helm, but can they put forth a consistent...
Come on, Deng. Yeah, baby.
With the players on their roster? Those are the questions I have. Beautiful there. They're trying to pull away.
Well, with smart basketball, little by little, they're building on their lead here. You know, the Bulls were a tough team while traveling last season and ended up with the second most road wins in the Eastern Conference, trailing only the Miami Heat.
Clark, talking about the Bulls on the road, they got those 26 road wins by, I think, getting really tough.
Well, they're such a good rebounding team, guys, and when you rebound on the road, it gives you a chance to win.
Now here's Wallace. 6 points for him.
Tough entry pass there. Too much traffic in the lane.
And finished off by Rose.
That's how it works. Your defense feeds into the offense.
Yeah, you know, excellent work, I thought. Solid work on both ends in that particular sequence.
Boozer gets the reach-in call. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line.
Boozer with 3 fouls
No
already.
good on that one.
And, you know, Jamal Crawford, you think about him in that
Who'd
first
bring it,
round
Taj?
series against
Yeah.
the Orlando guys. How good was he? I mean, he just lit them up. The smaller Magic backcourt had no answer for him.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago.
Taj is having a good game, rebounding. Oh, Rose got picked. Oh, and then an anger foul on Rose.
About 6 free throws per game. He put on a real show offensively. He was fantastic.
Free throw good, Felton.
You know, Raymond Felton the last 2 seasons has really improved his shooting nicely. I mean, both from the outside and finishing around the basket. He can penetrate, so that all helps.
And for Felton, at the same time, he improved his shooting. Stevie also upped his assists to a career high of over 8 a game.
Now, the all-around improvement for Felton was really impressive. And, you know, he was the 5th overall pick back in 2005 by Charlotte. And I thought once he went to New York, he really started to pick up his game. And then the trade to Denver, of course. So he's become an accomplished point guard in this league.
Shit.
Now, Canby, after the missed 3 from Jamal Crawford. From deep. Good on the
Shit.
Crawford's got 6.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. This, of course, the first opportunity to play Portland this season.
Well, they thought they'd handle this club last year both times, but they actually split the 2 season meetings.
I wasn't sure if I get in a half court. I didn't think I would, but almost got it off.
Looking at the game Rose has been having, 10 points, and the 3 ball's been there for him too. He's hit 2 for.
All right, let's move
I
on.
hope you're enjoying your Wednesday night.
Both teams shooting well, 61%, 52%.
The Cavaliers over at Quicken Loans Arena.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Here's Felton. You know, you would think, as you said, Steve, that no matter what building they were in, this is a team they should have beaten both times.
It probably had a little something to do with the fact that they're just not a very familiar opponent. I mean, that's one way to look at it.
Third quarter.
Good D. Good defense.
Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the floor for Portland.
Good defense again, baby.
Up front. Felton is out there with Crawford. And it's Wallace in at the 3 spot.
Oh, went for the loop. Bulls ball. Ah.
Things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at Memphis, long way to go still in the season, but even so, they've got the top spot. And, of course, there's the Trailblazers, a half game back.
Well, I think for Portland, they've done what they've needed to do up to this point in the season. I think they've got to be happy and comfortable with where they are.
And I'm sure they are. I mean, they don't have the target on their back that some of the top teams have, but this is a very solid club.
Rose against Crawford. And the basket by Rose. Rose has got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Bulls.
And for the Blazers,
If I can learn how to get around guys better, Rose should never be stopped. He can get around anybody in real basketball. His first step, nobody can stop him.
Aldridge backing in. Releases. Drops it in from 12 feet. Aldridge has got his second basket of the night.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
Here's Rose. He's got 12. Steve, for the Blazers, a winning record at home for the last 4 seasons. You talked about the numbers last year. Clark, they've really made the Rose Garden a tough place to play for visiting teams.
You know, going back before the Rose Garden was there playing in Portland when I was in the league in the early 80s, I mean, the fans really are special. They always support that team. And, you know, with the physical style that the Blazers play, you know you're in for a challenge coming into play.
they are in attack mode right now. That's 10 straight points, guys, all coming inside the paint.
The Boozer, man. Boozer can shoot. I'll give him that. Can't play defense for fucking shit, but he can shoot.
Take everything you can get in there.
Felton with the ball. He's got 8, and Rose picks him up defensively. Rose.
God damn it.
And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
That's his 3rd personal.
Here's Felton. The dive for the ball. Stolen by Noah.
I think he baited him on that pass. Very savvy defense.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play.
And the foul, Derrick Rose.
Rose is such an unbelievably strong finisher at the rim. His explosiveness and his leaping ability and his strength in the air makes it almost unfair when you're trying to deal with that guy, especially if he's got a head of steam coming at you.
Camby dishes to Wallace. Camby a screen on Deng. Wallace kicks to Camby.
Good help side D, Boozer. What the hell? How'd that happen?
Just 5 to shoot. And he stepped in the line.
Wow, that was weird.
What you nailed it about Rose. He can torch so much while airborne. But Steve always
I'll take it though.
Coach
The freak is in.
The launching pad. When you let Derrick Rose get to that launching pad, he gets a head of steam, goes off with 2 feet in the lane. But forget about it. He's so strong and so athletic and just a powerful finisher for a point guard.
And the Bulls making a change here. Sheik's checked in. Felton kicks to Aldridge. Over Deng. Aldridge, no luck.
Just 1 of 4 now to start this 3rd quarter.
Felton against Rose. He's covered by Felton. Rose kicks to Boozer.
Shit.
Crawford with the steal. Trailblazers trail by 10. Felton the pass to Wallace.
Get out of here, Sheik.
And here we go with Derrick Rose. He's got 15. Here's Deng. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Deng's got 10 points.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to...
There's the Boozer I know. Laid on getting over.
Book it.
Right, you just see them taking it strong into the paint over and over again.
Yeah, that really seems to be the strategy, partner. I mean, pound it inside.
Jumps up.
Oh.
17 points in the game.
Well, how happy were Bulls fans last season with the way their team played, and with good reason. Bulls ended the year with the 2nd best points per game differential in the entire league.
That was stupid.
He's a gunslinger, isn't he? He'll fire that 3 anytime, anywhere.
Oh no, Boozer. Man, I'm having trouble getting the ball in the post.
Fast break. Here we go. Here's Felton. There's
See ya.
the Bulls leading by 9. Outside Rose. Now Felton defending. Here's a Sheik. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. You know, you're right, Steve. It's one thing to win. It's another to win with ease. Clark, that applies to the Bulls, as you mentioned.
Yes, 7.3 average margin of victory for the Bulls. And they were very close to the Heat for tops in that regard. I mean, just 0.2 of a point separated those two teams in terms of margin of victory.
Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Portland. Armand Johnson comes in for Raymond Felton. Chicago also making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for a Sheik. Butler comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Watson in for Derrick Rose.
Oh shit!
And
Oh,
here is Johnson.
horrible.
That's good. Johnson's got his first basket.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I figured he was going to shoot that three, so I didn't worry about guarding the lane.
And the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Here's Noah. They
Oh,
get the rebound.
that's Noah, all right.
They're moving the ball. Here's Boozer. And the rebound goes
A little
to
too
Marcus
far out, I
Camby.
think. Oh!
Camby's got
Oh.
the rebound in this one.
And they're struggling a little bit on the glass. They've got to pick up their physical play in the paint.
Yeah, it's about being tougher and more physical, just as you said, Steve. If they can do that better, they've got a chance to come back.
The Bulls leading by 9. Here is Watson. And Batum picks him up defensively. Butler dishes to Hamilton. Charity stripe shot.
Cannot count on him to miss a good look like that very often.
There's Crawford with the 3. Scooped up.
Damn it!
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And the first one at the line is good. Both teams will make substitutions.
At the line of the Trailblazers, Marcus Camby taking 2 shots.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. He got it up. And he beat the buzzer. But it's no good. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the third.
All right, well, let's get this last quarter taken care of and lead the whole game.
It's time for the fourth quarter and time to check in with the 4th member of our team, Doris Burke, for our Sprite Spark report. Hi, Doris.
Hey, Kevin, well, our spark of the game goes to the Bulls for that major surge. That big second quarter is where they took control, and they haven't slowed up since.
Doris, thanks.
Oh my God, too much dribbling. Too much dribbling, Derek.
Sure did. I mean, it got their confidence up and gave them the kind of swagger you like to see in a team.
Yeah, gave them the edge for sure because look at the opponent. I mean, they are kind of down on themselves right now. The body language, not where it needs to be.
So with Boozer on the bench, here's the 5 for Tom Thibodeau right now. It's Gibson and Noah at the 4 and the 5. Rose and Deng on the floor, and it's Brewer in at the 2-guard spot. That's tipped.
Oh, good
Stolen by
Noah.
Noah.
And I like the aggressiveness defensively.
There it is. Oh!
That's why you push the ball. You score before the defense has a chance to set up.
Exactly. They had the defense on its heels that time.
Taj Gibson.
Here's Smith. And Clark, they're going to have to make a pretty big comeback here.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think the clock is a factor right now, at least not yet. I mean, they don't need to change their pace of play. Keep attacking.
Yeah, I agree. You got to make sure you take your time, but start to be more effective and efficient with each possession. And you got to buckle down defensively.
Well, Wesley Matthews was signed to be a bit
There
of
we
a
go.
role player for the Trailblazers, but when Roy went down, he exploded and was really key in their run last season.
And he sinks the second. We're back to Wesley Matthews. Yeah, Clark, you know, he was brought in.
Where you
for
going,
defense and
Taj?
threes. But Steve, I thought he showed so much more. Great depth to his game.
Averaged close to 18 points per game in the middle part of the season, Kevin, when Brandon
Step
Roy
back.
went down. Really was a huge addition to that Blazer offense. And
Derek
saved
with
them
19
with all
and
the injuries
4.
they had
I'll
on the
take
way.
it.
Rose against Smith, and Rose picks him up defensively. Smith kicks to Matthews. Three-pointer. Rebound by the Bulls. Gibson's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
You know, it might not be the biggest margin, but don't take what they've done on the boards for granted. I mean, it's been a strong area for them in this game.
Well, you know, Clark, I mean, it all adds up. You do a little bit better job here, a little better job there, and you look up, it makes a big difference on the scoreboard.
Just 4 to shoot. Good look. Another one falls for Chicago.
Got goofy there. Couldn't get the animation got stuck or something. Deng's at 14 at 6 at 8. Jesus.
Now here is Smith. Kicks to Matthews. Batum with the 3. Portland again missing. The Bulls leading by 14. Now Rose. Gibson backs in. Goes up low. And he races to the bucket for 2. Gibson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They're taking it to the hoop strong now, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And Steve, I love it. I mean, I like to see guys attacking the rim and taking it to the paint. It's fun basketball to watch. It's not for the faint of heart, though. You got to be a man to go in there strong.
Outside, Batum. Over Deng.
No way that's... Oh, my God.
Chicago calls timeout.
And the Blazers did a pretty nice job.
Good-ass defense. There's no way that was going in.
A year ago, going 18-12.
A moment to check in with Doris Britt. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Tom Thibodeau had some words for his team in that last huddle.
Hey, Korver's in.
Incredibly confident given the situation they're in. He said, all right, I hope they're not counting us out yet because we are going to win this game. Guys, we'll see if his players believe him.
Rose against Felton. Here's Korver for 3. No good. And the Blazers the other way.
Korver comes in, that's got to shoot threes with him. He doesn't get in enough.
The East, you told us that record. The Eastern Conference, historically known, Clark, for more half-court, defensive-minded teams. And I think the Blazers kind of fit that mold.
I think so. I mean, they take on a bit of the personality of their coach.
Shit. Nobody was down low. Derek was the only one down low for that rebound.
Grind out games. They don't mind doing that. So when you think about the Eastern Conference style, the Blazers kind of
money
comfortable for them.
Wasted no time on that one. And the Bulls lead by 15.
If Korver's open, he's not going to miss.
Portland now, down by 15.
They got him in the garbage bucket. Garbage time.
Looking to end his cold spell. Rebound by the Bulls.
Not a bad look at the hoop, just couldn't get it to bounce in for him.
From 6 feet, another one falls for Chicago.
They're looking good here, adding to this lead.
Yeah, you know, time winding down here, the score and the clock clearly in their favor.
Time call here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're behind by 17.
This game is oh so over.
Left in the fourth quarter of this one.
Bench mob in.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago.
Total bench mob? Oh yeah, total bench mob.
In for Booser.
Oh, even got
Richard Hamilton.
Got Lucas. Who I like Lucas. He isn't getting any playing time. 3 seconds, baby.
You know, they're really starting to lose their way.
You guys suck.
Yeah, they are. I think they look a little demoralized to me, Steve. I mean, that's just a silly, unnecessary error right there.
And the Bulls with possession. They're on a 15-5 run here. Lucas with it. Deflected.
That was horrible.
Taken away by Wallace. Leads him in there. Crawford. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Trying too hard to get the ball to Korver.
He has 9 points, and he's connected on 2 3-pointers here as well.
Well, if his three-point shooting continues, this game will change dramatically because the defense will really have to adapt. Jamal Crawford was the NBA's 6th man of the year 2 seasons ago, but last season his shooting percentages really dropped across the board. He just wasn't able to have that consistent year again.
And here's Lucas. 6 to shoot. Here's Gibson. Another one.
Taj.
Chicago. And Crawford really pushed.
10 points for Taj, 5 for 5, and 3 boards. Wow.
So, Clark, I'll pose this to you.
I didn't know Taj was having such a good game.
Have played a role, without that contract in his struggles.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard.
Look at Sheik crashing the boards. This team crashes the boards. That's what they do. Good.
Security.
Oh.
And when that doesn't happen,
Taj again with the board.
Consciously weigh on you and affect how you go about your work. So I think that's
Good.
very, very possible that happens.
Korver, good.
Well, they're just trying to run clock now. I mean, this thing is pretty much over.
Yeah, there's nothing but the result to be determined. So it's time to start thinking about the next game now.
Crawford passes to Aldridge.
Get out.
And it's Chicago with the rebound.
And you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Good.
Challenging shots and making
Oh, come on.
That's exactly what he can give you.
He never misses threes.
And here's Felton from the arc. Offline.
All right.
So Chicago
Ass
takes this
kicking.
one, and by a big margin.
Hey, what a surprise. Derrick Rose. I'm learning to get to the basket better with him. I had a lot of trouble the first couple games getting around people. Starting to do a better job at getting the ball to him. Oh, and that was the sweet alley-oop. Little step back jumper. Man, I got all his points. 21, 5, and 2. I'll take it. That was a good-ass game. I'm happy with that. Because they, 21, Deng at 14, Gibson at 10, Boozer only had 6, Korver had those 2 threes, but Deng and Gibson played really well. I liked it. And no only with 3 boards, but I didn't miss. I didn't get him offensive rebounds. Alright, cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll come back with the next one in a little bit. So take care. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're liking it. Thanks.